Welcome back to the TalkYours podcast. We're a couple days into the NBA season. Just had most teams play their first games. We have the Pacers and the Nuggets playing their first games tonight, and it was one of the best opening couple of days of the NBA season we've had in a very long time. Maybe the best opening night game ever. Um, it's just incredible. And today we're just going to be giving a few of our takes about some of the games that have happened. Of course, overreacting because why would we not want to just kind of predict what's going to happen for the rest of the NBA season based on less than 2% of the games played?
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's just one game, but maybe we'll change our minds a couple times. You never really know.
you don't know, but no, it was pretty incredible. I think there were some games that surprised a lot of people. I think there were some things that reaffirmed what we already know. And let's just start with the game of the week. Might end up being game of the year. Who even knows? First game of the season, Rockets Thunder. I mean, man, what a game. Two teams down. Two of their better players, and Fred VanVleet obviously out for majority of the season, and then Jalen Williams recovering from that wrist surgery. Just what a dogfight. I mean, going back and forth. The Rockets looked honestly really impressive for a lot of that game. I was really impressed with the way they looked, even with no true point guard against that Thunder defense. Şengün obviously played amazing. I really think that this is a game that speaks well for the Rockets moving forward. I think even though that they lost, I think there was a lot of things that looked good. I think, you don't have Amen Thompson for what was it? Was it like half the third quarter, most of the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
and then none of the overtimes, and you still only lose by a point or two.
It was a great fight from the Rockets. Even though you lost the game, you probably love what you saw as a fan. The only
Mhm.
thing you don't love is the fact that it reconfirms their original problem of they don't have a point guard.
Mhm.
I believe they had like mid-20s or more turnovers. I know Amen Thompson had 4 turnovers. Oh, well, some people online were saying Amen Thompson had 11 turnovers that night because he went 0 for 7 from 3. And every time he shoots that 3, it's a turnover, which might be kind of fair. I love the idea that shooters shoot, and I'd rather go 0 for
Mhm.
29 than 0 for 9. Who said that? Was that Lance? Was that
It
JR?
it was Dion.
Oh, it was Dion.
Yeah.
One of those kind of guys.
Well, yeah.
But I think once he went 0 for 3, you maybe need to stop pushing it. Even though I think he did have a long 2. But overall,
Honestly, though, a lot of the the threes he was taking, I don't know. Did you watch a lot of the game? Like, go back and watch
unfortunately
it?
I was able to miss it. I had to miss it live because I was working. But I was able to watch a lot of it back. Not specifically the Amen 3 pointers though.
Yeah.
I was watching more of the highlights. But you
But
think they were close
he,
misses?
so he came out. I mean, you saw a couple of his misses early on. They were close enough. He had that one that he made that his foot was on the line. So he took quite a few early in the game. And then a lot of his other threes were kind of like late in the shot clock threes, where it's like
Okay.
he had to shoot them. It wasn't like he was going up and pulling up early in the shot clock. I got to be honest. Personally, I was impressed with Amen Thompson. I know maybe that sounds a little weird, given that his game was not the most statistically impressive, but I think he was borderline unstoppable when he attacked the basket. I think he was actually doing a really good job of playmaking. I don't. What was odd to me is that they went away from Amen being kind of the initiator of the offense for a couple quarters. Like his first quarter was really good. I think he had 10 points, a couple of assists, and then they kind of went away from that for a couple quarters until the fourth quarter. Now, obviously, he started cramping up and wasn't able to play the rest of the game. But he was going and getting some clutch buckets in the fourth quarter, and I think it'll be interesting. I think they might run a type of offense where it's like hot hand, right? That's what it kind of seemed like. Personally, what I'm most concerned about is Kevin Durant only taking 2 shots
Oh yeah.
over the fourth quarter,
Fourth
like
quarter and
fourth
both
quarter and both
overtimes.
overtimes. Um,
That's insane to me because
it,
he comes to this team as the guy because they've been missing the guy last season. Jalen Green had to be their guy, who is terrible, and unfortunately we'll be missing probably like the first week or 2 of the season. It
mhm.
just came out he's gonna miss 2 more games, but overall Kevin Durant's supposed to be the person you go to in the fourth quarter. It shouldn't be Amen, even though
Mhm.
Amen was doing really good in his drives. I actually was really impressed.
Mhm.
I think his handle has gotten slightly better, not good enough to be a point guard, but still better. And then Sengun was amazing,
Yeah.
but it's supposed to be KD. I mean, the fact that who took that last shot in the game, Jabari Smith Jr., and he like
Mhm.
airballed that shot. I think that was
See, I don't like that. I mean, I think maybe you get later in the season, you do that. But I think early in the season, you got to force the ball to KD in that spot.
So they need an actual initiator who will get Kevin Durant the ball, because his
Yeah.
problem his whole career is KD is not an aggressive guy. He doesn't go toward the ball. He's fine with his teammates kind of taking over. We saw that with Russ. We saw that sometimes with James Harden, occasionally Kyrie.
I mean, but I, I don't know. I feel like Kevin Durant plays within himself is the best way to put it. But historically in his career, he has known when to take over. I mean, he was playing next to Stephen Curry, and there was times when he would just go and demand the ball, and he would take over. And of course, that Warriors team trusted him, because why would you not trust Kevin Durant? But I don't think it was a matter of trust. I do think Reed Shepherd needs to pick his head up a little bit on offense. I think if he's going to be the point guard off the bench, I mean, he did a great job scoring the ball. I actually think he started off really rough and then had a pretty solid game after that. But
he is not an NBA player. I look at him defensively, and yeah, he gets the steals and occasionally a block for a 6'2" guard, but they were picking on him. They were completely picking on him. He looked like a complete liability. I think he probably played 15, 20 minutes. And in those 20 minutes, when you're the Rockets scheme and you have all these great defenders and you have one bad defender, it just ruins things so much. And trust me, I know, because my favorite team is the Hawks, and we'll talk about that later. But just I was just so disappointed. And I'm not going to lie, my expectations weren't too high for Shepherd, but a lot of people's were. I mean, people were ESPN had him projected at being like a 15-point per game guy, which I guess he did have 13 points and he was scoring fine. But I mean, he's not a point guard. We saw that. His handle is not good. I mean,
I mean, he's got a solid offensive game. He can definitely shoot. His finishing, I don't know what that looks like. I didn't really see him try to finish much in that game. The play that really jumped out to me was he was dribbling around the perimeter, and there was he had just not really dribbled out the clock, but kind of like the shot clock. And I think Katie gave the ball up to him with like 18 seconds left. He dribbled around. It was like 11 seconds on the shot clock, and Katie is standing right behind him, and he's like, "Give me the ball." And Reed Shepherd just dribbles right past him. And it's like, young player, limited NBA action. You hope that stuff gets ironed out. I mean, obviously the game moves so fast, it's hard to pick up everything.
I'm setting up business. I thought he was going to be a bust before the season started, and one game in, I'm standing on it.
I mean, yeah,
until he changes my mind. I mean, he was the 3rd overall pick. Not saying that him being a 3rd overall pick means he should be compared to guys of like RJ Barrett or other draft classes calibers, but the fact that he's even off the bench, like, I mean, their lineup, the starting lineup was a 6'8" point guard, and everyone else was 6'11" or taller.
Yeah.
Unless you go off official measurements.
I think the Rockets definitely need to make a trade for a point guard at some point.
Probably should have got Russ. And I'm not huge on Russ, current day Russ, but they definitely could have used him.
The problem is they do need spacing, and Russ will not provide that. I mean, if you're going to have Russ run the point guard, I'm not saying his vision is better than Russ's. It's certainly not. But you might as well have Amen run the point guard then, and have him develop, and at least he's a better get his bucket guy right now than Russ is. Amen. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's not that's not the important part of being a point guard. That's
maybe not. But I feel like once again, I think I said this at the beginning of the year, or not the beginning of the year, off season. They should run the offense through Sengun as a playmaker if they're going to do that. Or Amen. I got to be honest. Amen looked solid playmaking. Yes, he made some mistakes, but his handle did not look super loose. I mean, there was a couple times he lost the ball, but legitimately, I do think he can play a point guard type role in unison with Sengun. I think Sengun has the best vision out of anybody in that starting lineup for sure. And once again, he played amazing. I mean, you kind of called it on his play, especially if he keeps this up. But he played incredible. I think he was, in my opinion, the best player on the court. If you look at the whole game, obviously, Shea took over towards the end of the game. But looking at the whole scope of the game, Sengun was the best player on the court. Sans one guy, actually. Chet Holmgren. Holy God, dude. Did he miss?
He started 7 for 7. I think he ended up missing eventually. Yeah. But he shot like really good from the field. 28 points. I forget how many rebounds. No, he had 8 rebounds or something. So nothing crazy. Yeah. But overall, I mean, if this is who Chet Holmgren is as a scorer, we should be scared. And to be honest, this could be seen as like a fluke thing of him just not missing. I mean, he did hit 2 threes, but he had to go 2 for 5. So it's nothing crazy like going 2 for 2 or anything. But it wasn't ridiculous like I could see Chet being this kind of guy. Maybe not 28 points per game, but as in
But,
terms of like how he's
but
scoring and just doing
22.
it consistently, yeah, being like
I
a
mean, we'll
22,
see what happens
23
when
guy.
J-Dub comes back.
And
In
this is
terms,
who he was supposed to be coming into the NBA. This is stuff he saw
yeah.
and we saw in that rookie season or sophomore, however you want
Hmm.
to call that. But I mean, last year during the regular season, he didn't play very much. He was injured, and it just like was a little bit of a plateau. Like he didn't play necessarily worse. He actually was a better shooter in the regular season until that thing was broke in the playoffs. But overall, it was super. I mean, shout out, Case and Wallace had 4 steals and just hit clutch
Hmm.
shots.
Yeah.
Thunder just kind of did their thing. AJ Mitchell was really good. I've always been high on AJ Mitchell, and he had 15 points, super efficient. I think
Hmm.
he won his minutes by like 11 or something.
Yeah.
Don't fact check me, but yeah,
And
Thunder were scary without J Dub.
yeah, especially because Shea did not play good in the first half. Like at all. He had
No,
a very bad first half. The fact that he finished with the stat line he does, even in a double overtime game, it just really. I mean, I'm not the biggest Shea fan. If you guys have been watching this podcast, you know that I don't hate him. I don't dislike him. I'm not some sort of Shea fan though, but that dude deserves everyone's respect. I mean, when you talk about a guy, anybody in the league that can go get a bucket in the mid range anytime they want to, and knock it down. I mean, down by 2, who do I want taking a shot in the NBA? I'd have a hard time finding a guy, not named Shea Gilgeous-Alexander that I'd want
it'd
more.
probably be Shea.
I think maybe not down by 3. Obviously, there's other guys, but down by 2, down by 1, hard to go away from that guy.
I think he's the best mid-range shooter in the league right now. And I think I texted this in our group
Mhm.
chat. He will end up being the second greatest mid-range shooter of all time, next to obviously Sean Livingston. Sean Livingston, no one has ever seen him miss a mid-range.
Yeah.
But besides him, obviously, I think Shea will be the greatest mid-range shooter of all time. Not just in the fact of, oh, will he make it or not? Which, by the
Mhm.
way, it is automatic. He will make it.
Mhm.
But just the way that he gets his separation, it's so clean. It's so. I mean, some people kind of argue how legal it is because he
Mhm.
uses a little bit of the arm, but like it's not a push-off. You
I,
could use
I
arm. You could use
yeah,
contact. And most of the time when he's making that contact, the defender is like holding on to him. Like
yeah,
so as long as it's not getting called either way,
yeah.
it's all fair game.
Personally, I don't think he will be the best mid-range shooter of all time. I think that's it's almost a little bit of an outrageous take
I don't think it
in
is.
some ways,
I expect it to go in every
because
time it's taken.
Michael Jordan.
I think Shea's a better mid-range
I,
scorer. Maybe not at the rim or
I
anything.
don't.
I'm not saying a scorer in general,
I mean,
but
I don't know.
you talk about especially
I'm
a
just
shooter.
yeah.
Well, he's
That's.
already a better shooter in general than Michael Jordan. And then you go
I mean, when
specifically
you're
to the
talking about
mid-range.
like 3-point shooting,
When you talk about shooting, so both, if you incorporate both, Shea is a better shooter than Michael Jordan. Well,
I don't know about
I
from the
think either
mid range.
way.
I don't
I'm
know
saying
about
either
from the
way,
I don't
but
know about from the mid range. I just don't know that he is like
who is the better shooter?
from the 3-point line.
Who is the
Shea,
better shooter,
from
dude?
mid range, Michael Jordan.
And what about shooter? So both.
What do you
Incorporate
mean?
both.
I mean, what do you mean by shooter? Are you talking about threes or are you talking about mid
He's
range?
talking about, that dude can shoot.
I think
Who's
they're
the better
on.
shooter?
I think when you incorporate threes and mid ranges, they're on about the same level.
There's
Genuinely, I do. But Michael Jordan is the much better mid range shooter. It's still, or not much
much
better.
better.
He's not much better because Shea is still probably like, if Shea continues what he's doing, which we also still have to see, like you're obviously making a prediction. If he continues what he's doing, he's going to be top, whatever all time, like top 5, top 3, maybe even. But as of right now, I mean, even if
Who's
he
your
continues
top 3
what he's
right
doing,
now? Jordan, Kobe, and who?
I'm going to say something crazy. And it's not right now. I mean, actually, would it? Jordan, Durant, Kobe. Those are my top 3.
Oh, okay, right.
Those are my top 3.
If you want to say that, I'm not going to be mad at anyone saying that.
Yeah.
Shea's 4 then. He's already. Unless you want to count like
Shea's
a
4.
DeMar DeRozan. No, it's not a DeMar.
Shea's 4 already.
That's his thing. The mid range is literally his thing, and he was the best scorer in the NBA last year.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep doing it. He's been more efficient than any other mid range shooter we've seen since. I
Mhm.
mean, Kobe wasn't better, a more efficient one.
No,
Maybe DeMar, you could say.
I'm
but I
just
don't
trying
know.
to like think of like 4 seems high, but it also might not be. There might just not be that many other names because when you think about MVPs, how many guys have won an MVP off their mid range? And
And
it's
a
like,
Finals MVP off there.
and it's like Durant, Kobe, Jordan, Shea. There's not that many other guys.
No.
As much as the NBA was a quote unquote mid range game for a long period of time, there are not a lot of guys that have had that level of success in the mid range.
And you never know with impact. I mean, he might have the impact of bringing the mid range back. The mid range is dead now.
He might.
KD's always had the mid
I-
range, but no one,
hon-
everyone just knew KD. KD's just a guy who can shoot over you.
Honestly, you look at Cooper Flag, you look at Shea, you look at even Wemby. These are all guys that utilize the mid range in their game really effectively, and don't primarily shoot threes. Now, I mean, will we see that? That was the funny thing always is people were like, now everyone's just going to shoot threes. That's just going to be the prototype. And then they saw Wemby taking threes, and they're like, great. Now we just have a 7'5" player who shoots threes, and that's all he does. If you watched his game, that is not all he does. But he, I think it was never going to go that way, and I do think it's interesting what you're saying. I think Jokic is another guy who's really brought back post play. So I think Shea and Jokic are both doing that. Yeah, Embiid too is another guy who brought back that kind of like play in the mid range and the post type thing, even though he will step out and take a three. Which is why I don't think there'll ever be a shooter as good as Steph Curry, because I don't think a human beings shoot that well from three.
No.
I don't see it. I think there is like a level to it where it's like, yeah, this dude with the hard work and then the physical gifts, I don't know that we'll ever see a guy like that again.
No. So let's move on.
Yeah.
We've spent a little too much time on one game.
I mean, it was the best game of the. It might be game of the year, like I said already.
It probably was game of the year. But let's go on to Lakers Warriors. If you have much to say, you can. All I'm gonna say is, DeAndre Ayton sucks, and the Lakers aren't actually that good. I'm not gonna go ahead and say I was wrong and go ahead and say, oh, they won't be the sixth. I think I had them as the sixth seed, in the West, because I did say that with LeBron being healthy. I believe LeBron was healthy at the time. I could be wrong.
We'd have to go back, but he was ruled out pretty.
But I'm going to go ahead and say it. Luka is amazing, and the rest of the team is not good. Austin Reeves, sure, a little bit. Yeah. But, I mean, they're starting Gabe Vincent. I think the roster's garbage around Luka. And even if you want to blame him for specific moments of bad defense or whatever, you can't deny that he was the best player on the court during that game. And
he was.
Yeah. And it's probably going to be like that for a while. For the next month of him being the best player on the court, and they're probably going to lose a lot of games because the NBA is way too deep for you to be having this terrible, terrible defense. But what do you have anything to say?
DeAndre Ayton, Darius Slayton, cookies or bacon. Lakers need a 5. No,
That's tough.
I think number one, I forgot how fun it is to watch Marcus Smart play basketball. Not in a sense of playing basketball, but in a sense of like, what a personality, dude. Like,
oh yeah,
like
he brings it.
I think in another life, Marcus Smart could have been a contortionist in like the circus or something like that. Because the shapes his body goes into when he launches himself in the air to get a foul call, absolutely incredible, right? No, I mean, Warriors looked good. I think Jimmy Butler played aggressive, which was needed coming off of that playoff series. I think he needed to come out and make a statement. Now he probably will take a bit more of a back seat the rest of the year. But I think it was a good statement. I think it shows that he can be aggressive when he wants to. I think Steph had 24 points on 14 shots. Pretty like good Steph Curry game.
Yeah.
What jumped out to me, as you know, as anyone who watches this podcast knows, was Jonathan Kuminga finally was utilized by the Warriors, and not in the we're going to have you run a bunch of backdoor cuts. We're going to have you be a screener. We're going to have you be a lob threat. In the third quarter, the offense ran through Jonathan Kuminga, and it was beautiful to watch. I think he finished with 17 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds, a steal on efficient shooting, made 4 threes, which is probably not going to be a consistent thing. He's probably not going to knock down 4 threes, but the shot looked really good. I know he worked with somebody in the offseason to get his release quicker, and his release does look quicker now. Yeah, man, that is the X factor for the Warriors. I've been saying it over and over and over again. I love Jonathan Kuminga. The whole offseason saga it's frustrating. But I really hope that this is a sign of things to come. I think he looked really good. I think the team looks like they trust him. And yeah, I'm really excited. If this is the way they're going to use Jonathan Kuminga this year, I'm really excited to watch the Warriors.
Yeah.
The
Warriors look great. Kuminga look great.
But tonight will be an interesting test. We're recording this on Thursday, right before the Pacers Thunder game kicks off. So the Warriors obviously play the Nuggets later tonight. Nuggets first game of the season. It'll be interesting to see how they match up. But yeah,
Yeah.
moving on to the other games.
Wednesday. Let's go ahead and start with the Knicks Cavs. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't pay too much attention to this game. I also had to work during these games too.
Mhm.
It really pisses me off, but eventually I'm gonna be able to actually watch some games live. But overall, Donovan Mitchell can only do so much. Him and Evan Mobley played amazing, but everyone else on the Cavs not
Mhm.
very good. Lonzo Ball, I was pretty disappointed in because he's supposed to be the glue guy, and he was, diming up and stuff, but. You got to be able to shoot the ball. When you're on that court and you're a 6'5" guy at the small forward position, and him going 1 for 7, you just can't do. And then at least my notes for the Knicks side is Miles McBride. We were kind of getting into a little bit of a debate or an argument about Clarkson versus McBride. I still think McBride is that guy,
Mhm.
and he did prove it yesterday. I'm not saying, oh, I'm right and you're wrong,
Yeah.
but I just am high on McBride. I think overall, the Knicks were more healthy. I mean, they
Mhm.
did have Hart and Mitchell Robinson out, but missing Darius Garland is just so huge for the Cavs and DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those Cavs players just were
And
not
Clarkson
great.
also didn't play, which I think shows something about how they value him
Clarkson?
on that team. He played like 10 minutes.
Oh, right. So,
Something
yeah.
like,
Oh,
like
but
he
they-
didn't play much.
No.
You know,
Well, the Knicks were doing a thing where they played a lot of different guys.
I mean,
like a very
just the
small amount.
anti-Thibodeau lineup.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, Mike Brown's really changing that around, maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. But so
I like
far,
it come
for the better.
playoff time because this is a team, especially you look at it in the East, this team's going to be a top 6 team in the East with no injuries. And if they don't get hurt in the regular season, they're going to be a top 6 team in the East. They're going to make the playoffs. They're probably going to have a home playoff series in the first round regardless. I have a really hard time seeing this Knicks team drop out of the top 4 in the East. So, yeah, honestly, I don't have a ton to say about this game. Again, like it was a game I didn't get the opportunity to watch very much of, but just from what I saw, Knicks look solid. Cavs probably would like to get Garland back sooner than later, but they'll also be fine. They'll tread water for the time being. And yeah, I want to move on actually to another game in the East. We're not going to go through every game. Don't worry. But moving on, I wanted to talk about Philly and Boston. For a couple reasons. Number one, VJ Edgecombe. I mean, you want to talk about announcing your presence in the league. I mean, people saw him on draft night. Great story, right? You know, talking about electricity running off a generator where he was living before to where he is now. I mean, good for him, man. Like honestly, good for him. But he looks hungry. Like you see him in the game, he looks hungry. He looks ready to go, and he does not look afraid at all. 34 points, most in a NBA debut since Wilt Chamberlain. Let me say that again. Most in an NBA debut since Wilt Chamberlain in 1959.
Insane stat. Yeah.
Insane, dude. Just hoping it's not like a Michael Carter Williams situation. But yeah, really
I've never
impressed
seen a
with him.
player look more like Georgia Anthony Edwards. Like you talk about just pure athleticism of that's how I'm scoring, and then I'll hit a couple of threes. Are they the best shot selection? Maybe, maybe not, but he's gonna hit them
Yeah.
regardless. I mean, he did take a lot of them. He took 13 3-pointers in his
Yeah.
first
Mhm.
NBA game ever, which is pretty insane. But
Yeah.
he hit 5 of them.
I don't know if I've ever seen a player their third bucket of their career is a crossover where they mix up the defender into a cock back dunk over somebody.
Those are sick.
Like,
I mean, he had a couple of sick ass.
Wow.
dunks, honestly.
Yeah, no, he did. Like, I knew he was athletic. I didn't know he was that athletic. I watched him a little bit at Baylor, but yeah, that dude has got it, I think.
He's the
You know?
leader in NBA history of points per game and 3-pointers made per game.
Hey, man.
So
Wow.
so
Retire
you gotta-
now.
Yeah, you gotta have to. That would be
Uh,
hilarious if a player did. But then again, they wouldn't be eligible because it would be
Yeah.
games played.
Shout out A.G. Griffin.
But yeah,
But-
no, he was great. Tyrese Maxey showed that hey, this is still my team.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid,
He did.
Joel Embiid was embarrassing.
Yeah.
That dude would not leave the ground. He didn't jump a single time. His jumps.
And Joel Embiid, I think the Boston announcers even said it. He would not leave. He wouldn't go in the paint. He has turned into Al Horford without the defense. If he's gonna play like this, which we'll see what happens when he maybe gets a little healthier, because I think they're still working him back from injury. But yeah, like you said, it is Tyrese Maxey's team at this point in time. VJ Edgecombe, up and coming, Quentin Grimes, a very guard heavy team. Obviously, we'll see what happens when Jared McCain comes back, what type of role he plays.
Yeah, I wonder how
But
much of a priority McCain will be versus Maxey
yeah,
versus Edgecombe versus Grimes. We'll really see
yeah,
because I did think that Edgecombe would get hidden in that unit
mm-hmm,
of players, but like if he's doing this, it might have to be
yeah,
Grimes that gets way less minutes, or it might have to be McCain. Maybe
yeah,
McCain, unfortunately, that injury really hinders his playing time.
mm-hmm,
Because Edgecombe got
yeah,
to show what he really is.
yeah.
And just by the way, the Sixers won by 1. Embiid was a -16.
Wow, that's
Incredibly, that's
embarrassing.
insane.
That's
I want to see like
embarrassing.
what center was the one that really had the huge plus minus. Um, I don't really see anything. I guess it's when, because honestly I didn't really watch too much of this game. Maybe it's when like Barlow was at center or something. I don't know. But
Yeah. Moving to the Celtics too a little bit. I think the Celtics actually showed a lot about themselves. I think they're going to be a scrappy team. I don't think they're going to lie down this season. Some people thought they might. Some people thought maybe this is just going to be a year where they kind of not tank per se, but don't play as competitively because they don't have Jason Tatum. But that team showed their pride. They showed their grit. They're going to be a tough team for anybody to play week to week. They're scrappy. They go after the ball. I think Boston, while they may not be the contenders that they would be with Jason Tatum, are still going to be a fun team to watch this year. And I think,
mm,
you know,
maybe
they'll still
I'm
be
just
competitive.
I'm not too. I mean, I know like it's only one game, so I shouldn't be judging any of these teams. But I personally learned nothing about the Celtics from this one game. Like because I also don't know where Philly's at. Because yeah, Philly won and they look good, and Edgecombe look good, and Maxey look good. But as a team, I don't know where either of these teams are at. So personally, I'm not
I don't know.
overreacting to
I mean,
anything.
when two guys drop a combined 74 points and you only lose by one, it still means that you're playing pretty solid basketball.
Yeah, it
I
does mean
think
that.
so.
I know you say that we don't want to cover every game. I do just want to talk for like 30 seconds or a minute about this Hornets Nets game because
Oh my god.
one, I think it's really interesting how they didn't start Igor Demons. I don't know if they see him more as a wing or not, but the fact that you drafted someone with 8 and you start Ben Saraf over him is kind of interesting. But I don't really want to talk about the Nets. The Hornets look so fun. I'm pretty sure they have now like the second or third best offense in basketball, which is it's one game. But
Mhm.
LaMelo threw 3 or 4 different lobs to Brandon Miller. Um, they had Miles Bridges, going crazy. Even LaMelo, they won the game by a lot, and LaMelo didn't even need to score much. He probably only
Mm-mm.
had like 20 points,
No,
maybe
I
like
think he had like 20 and
less.
10 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Which is a good sign. I think the same thing I said about Trey Young with the Hawks. I think the Hornets, if LaMelo, which I did not believe he could, but if he can take that role as being more of a playmaker, I think that benefits the Hornets a lot as opposed to being a scorer because they have so many guys that can score.
I
You
think
know,
so too. And but also not even like assist wise, I think if he's just a better playmaker, but they have these guards like Trey Mann's a really good guard and
hmm
Colin Sexton. And I love the No Dunks podcast, but I was listening to them a couple weeks ago when they did their preview and they were talking about Sexton as if like he's a negative player or like no other team would sign him or anything. Colin Sexton's still a good player. And he's always been a good player. And it's unfortunate he had to play for the Jazz in their tanking era because I really think that
yeah.
he might be a contender for Sixth Man of the Year.
I mean,
Maybe
yeah,
that's my
I
overreaction.
think that's his perfect role.
Like I don't see a
On a
way he
team,
starts.
but
I like Concacafo starting with the starting lineup,
mhm,
but I easily could see him being Sixth Man of the Year.
yeah, I don't have a lot to say about that game, so
Yeah, I don't. We don't have
I
to.
didn't really see anything. Um,
Anything you like from Magic Heat? I just liked. I mean, just the balance of Bane, Paulo, and Franz.
I did notice that, and obviously with my Paulo take, part of me wanted to see him just score a bunch. Um, but in terms of being a balanced team, they looked pretty good. I think
They literally
it
all
it,
took the same amount of
it
shots
is a little
by one.
worrying that they struggled so much with this Heat team because I'm not personally high on this Heat team, especially with no Tyler Hero. Um, so I don't know, but it's one game.
Norman Powell, 28 points. Maybe he can replace Hero.
Maybe he
You
can,
never
and
know.
it's one game. They'll iron the things out. They've got Desmond Bane now, and they're working him into the game. So that's all fine and well. I want to mention Pelicans, Grizzlies real quick. Obviously, shout out Grizzlies winning the game, tight game. It was a fun game to watch for sure. Ja Morant, 33 points, keeping his opening night average up. I think he averages 31 per game on opening night now. After that game,
Wow.
Cam Spencer, brother of Pat Spencer, Warriors legend, played really good, really scrappy, hit some threes, made some good defensive plays. I think he drew a charge towards the end of the game. Jaren Jackson Jr. set the Grizzlies opening night record for blocks. I think he had 8 blocks. He played incredible. But to focus on the Pelican side, not to discredit because obviously I think the Grizzlies look really good, but My biggest takeaway, man, Zion is moving.
Zion, he looked better. He played better.
He had
He's better than the stats say.
5 steals. And they weren't pickpocket steals. They were him flashing into the passing lane and just picking stuff off. I mean, he had one steal where he was standing close to the free throw line. Somebody tried to throw a pass under the basket. He saw it, moved towards the pass as the guy was throwing it, caught it with one hand, knocked it out of bounds, and then threw it back to his guy behind his back. Like,
So sick.
and there was so many plays. Like, he obviously shot 10 for 21, but 3 of those baskets at
He
least
put it back.
were like miss and then put right back. So even though there's 50% shooting, there's a 100% conversion rate on that possession, which is what we know Zion can do with getting
I would
back off the
take
ground.
make
But-
that 1 for 1. Why is that 1 for 2?
Hey
It's
man,
literally
if we're gonna have full court heaves at the end of quarters and halves now be not a field goal attempt if they don't go in, why not? Let's just start changing all the stats.
21 rules,
Yeah.
I mean, if you put it right back
Yeah.
up for yourself, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's
now
a fucking-
let's actually go full 21 rules. If you put the ball back in without your feet touching the ground, the other team goes to 0.
yeah.
But no,
So,
I think Zion looked really good actually. Tight handle, only turned the ball over once while running the point forward position, because how do you even get the ball out of a guy like that? Like, unless he loses the ball, his hands are so big and he's so damn strong. How do you get the ball away from him? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm really excited to watch Zion this year. He's moving different. Like, this is like, I know he said it, and I'm overhyping him, but I love Zion as a basketball player, and I think he looks like Duke Zion. And I think that is what every NBA fan should want to see, because that is special.
Yeah, for sure. 2 terrible players for the Pelicans yesterday was. Oh, by the way, shout out Jeremiah Fears. He hooped.
Oh yeah, he hooped too.
He looked really good. There was that time where there was like 8 seconds on the shot clock and he like dribbled full court and just blew past everyone.
Mhm,
Had a really
yeah.
good finish. Trey Murphy was not great. Everyone's kind of expecting him to maybe not take a step, but be the guy he was last year. And through one game, that was not him, but it was just
Yeah.
one game. He was taking some all right shots.
Mm-hmm.
Kevon Looney needs to come back, because why? Even with no, because even with Looney being hurt,
Mhm.
why is Hunter Dickinson getting minutes for the Pelicans?
Because Misi got hurt.
They have Derek Queen.
I guess they do have Derek
I would
Queen,
rather
yeah.
see Derek Queen at center than Hunter Dickinson. In the less than 5 minutes he played, he was a -12. That was the difference. Those minutes. I mean, there's a reason he was in college for 6 years.
I'm actually, yeah.
Because he would have been in
has
the
been
NBA sooner.
He's been in college for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, he did not look NBA ready.
I saw him in college at a different college like every year.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas and
Yeah.
and some purple team.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, that
Michigan?
that pissed me off. Oh no, it was Michigan.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
purple
it
team.
probably was just the. I don't know who I'm thinking of.
It was the
purple.
blue. Anyway, I think unless you have a different game you want to talk about.
I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
Raptors.
you actually, I'll let you go on an ISO here.
We
Real
lost
quick.
by 20.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have something to say. We might have the worst transition defense in the league. It's always been like this with Hawks players, besides like last year, honestly, where we just think we're better than everyone else, so we just don't try. And I understand Jalen Johnson was the best player yesterday on the team, but he is not excused. This dude would get beat by Scotty Barnes on the break every single time, and it really pisses me off. And also with Quinn Snyder, Luke Kennard was pretty much running the point guard. Luke Kennard is not. I want to see him literally just as a shooter. The fact that he's dribbling the ball and driving and stuff pisses me off. The fact that he's even sometimes on the court. Nikhil Alexander Walker was 2 for 15. Now he's gonna shoot better than that, yes, but like he was taking superstar shots. I
Mhm.
want to see Risa Shea shoot more. He had 13 shot attempts, but even then, like I think he started like really good. He had like a quick 7 in the first couple minutes of the second half, and then just overall Trae Young 1 for 7 from 3. Just overall, I need to see him step up. There's a reason I had him at finishing 3rd in MVP, and whatever he did last night was not cutting that. But overall, the defense was all right. It just sucks that Dyson got into foul trouble with some very questionable calls. But yeah, we just played awful. Shout out the Raptors, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes. It really was a team effort.
Yeah.
Emmanuel quickly. Just they looked like they wanted it more. And I know that's such a standard like sports saying. And you can say that with every single win and loss. No. The Raptors wanted it so much more. And the Hawks just felt like, oh, well, it's just game 1. No, because if you have this attitude every single game, that's when we're gonna be back in the play-in. Shout out Okongwu.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. I don't know if
yeah,
you watched any
fair
of it,
enough.
but
No.
oh yeah, and RJ Barrett. I didn't even say his name, but yeah, RJ was probably the best player on the court yesterday. So
Yeah, he played really good. I mean, good to see RJ developing. into the player that a lot of people thought he would be coming out of the draft. Yeah, I don't have much to say. I box score watched that game. I didn't really pay much attention to it, to be fully honest. But I think
Dude,
let's get to the last game of the night. You
last
think,
game.
or do you want to? I mean, we could talk about the Jazz
We can
blowing
talk
out the
about a couple.
Clippers,
Yeah, the
like-
Jazz looked amazing.
and the Clippers looked awful.
Well, what's the last game to you? Because a game that we need to talk about is the
That's
Spurs.
the
Mavericks
last game. So I was talking about the last nationally televised game. There was other game, but I think that's the game I want to hit on. You made a video about it earlier, a little short video.
Would you say Wemby's the best player in the NBA?
I think that is hyperbole right now because Shea just won MVP. Jokic is a 3-time MVP. You know, Giannis still there. Wemby has to do this again and again. If Wemby, he doesn't have to be 40 every night. But Wemby plays like this again and again. There's a reason I have him finishing second in MVP voting. I think I know you say oh, you're valuing defense a lot, but that dude is absolutely special.
Do you ever look at the team stats and the offensive rating, defense rating, stuff like that? Because I was looking at that this morning.
Mm-hmm.
The Mavericks have the worst offense by such a wide margin. It might be the difference between 27 and 28 because two of the teams haven't played yet. Is the difference between 27 and I think 14 or something.
Damn.
Insane.
Yeah, so they had a bad game.
And I'm exaggerating that a little bit, but what I'm not exaggerating is it's a 10-point whole difference between last place and second to last place. The Mavericks could not score the ball. D'Angelo Russell only played 12 minutes because he's terrible, and he was supposed to be one of their only offensive weapons.
Yeah.
But it really was all because the Spurs defense is that good as well. I mean, the Mavericks offense isn't great, but yeah, the Spurs defense is that amazing.
Yeah.
Wemby, Castle, you talk about.
I mean,
even Dylan Harper holds his own.
Yeah.
Even, just all their players. Vassell can take a step defensively.
It's honestly crazy that we had the number 1 overall pick play, and literally no one is talking about his performance. Good, bad, whatever. No one is talking about it.
Because Wemby was that good.
Mm-hmm.
I have him on my fantasy team, and he is the leader right now. And wait, no, he might be second.
He's second because Luka was.
Oh, yeah,
Luka had
went off.
86 fantasy points in our league, and then Wemby had 83.
Yeah,
which
so-
was, I mean, both insane, but yeah.
He made Anthony Davis look like he wasn't even an all-star.
I think what really strikes me is the confidence in the moves, right? Because I think one thing about Wemby is the fact that he could just shoot over people kind of led him to doing that a lot in his first couple years in the league.
Yeah.
Where he just has the capability to shoot over anybody, so he wouldn't really get to a spot necessarily. He would just rise up from wherever.
No,
But now you can see he's getting to his spot. Now you can see he has moves that he has go-to moves. He has go-to moves. He has counters. Hakeem, what did you do?
Hakeem taught him a lot. You could tell he was watching tape. I mean, he had that long list of people he's been looking at this offseason. And it was not even basketball related, some of them, which is super interesting. But let me just ask you this, because we're not going to talk about Bucks Wizards. Personally, I didn't see a single highlight besides, I did see all of Trey Johnson's buckets. Trey Johnson played great.
I saw and then a lot of guys on the Bucks played pretty good. So
yeah. If you had to swap it right now, you had Giannis winning MVP and you had Wemby being second. If you had to swap it right now, would you? Your prediction. Quick overreaction.
A quick overreaction. I'm going to stick with what I said because I believe that Giannis had the game he had, which was 37 points on 61% shooting.
But he was playing – one was playing the worst defense in the league.
Yeah.
Or one of them. And
one was playing Anthony Davis and Derek Lively.
And I mean, you even talk about their defense or their – Wemby's offense, playing against Anthony Davis.
Man, I don't know.
How good defense.
It's an overreaction for sure. If I had to base it on that one game, obviously, if we voted after one game, we'd be picking Wemby. I just know that there's that level to it.
Not like actual.
Giannis has done it before. I feel like there's. I mean, I have Wemby finishing second, so I think he'll play 65 plus games. So I can't even say health. I don't think Wemby's going to score like this every game. I think Giannis could score 37 most games.
I mean, I don't think he played too many minutes, too, because they were blowing out the Wizards by that much.
So I think that is the difference. I think their scoring averages will be pretty different. I But man, yeah, you want to talk about two guys that don't. I mean, Wemby obviously being as young as he is, I think he gets a due amount of respect. But I mean, two like unstoppable physical players each in their own way. I'm so excited for when the Bucks play the Spurs. Like genuinely, I think it's one of the most underrated matchups in the league.
Yeah.
And we need to see more of it.
I mean, honestly,
You know?
any MVP matchup or like one of those top 5 guys, but
Yeah.
that one especially will be great. Wemby versus Jokic again will be amazing.
Wemby versus Jokic.
Yeah, there's gonna be so many good marquee matchups.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't wait. The rest of these, it's kind of interesting how honestly I don't care much to talk about these West teams, but we talked a lot about these East games.
Yeah.
Because most of the time we care way more about the West, but the East games are pretty good.
Mhm.
Like I'll even just say it, like the Pistons almost coming back against the Bulls was pretty amazing.
Mhm.
And
Asar had a good game.
Sar had a good
Yeah.
game, but overall the Pistons didn't have any ball handlers. You could kind of tell, like Cade Cunningham was the only one. Dennis Schroeder was so important for that Pistons
They need Jaden Ivey back, like soon.
because they don't have anyone else. I mean, I'm surprised that they started Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
I understand they wanted to go like the whole Malik, but even Malik came off the bench for who started last year actually? Oh, was it Tim Hardaway? So I guess they wanted to replicate that, but even that, they don't have that many good players. I like Ron Holland off the bench. I like Beach Stew off the bench, but like I think they actually have 6 NBA players on that team.
Malik Beasley out of the league for alleged gambling that he didn't even do.
While everyone else is
And now
gambling
everyone
willy-nilly.
else.
Well, now
is
they're
done.
getting arrested. But,
Wow. Yeah. I don't know what. We might not have time to talk about it today, but
I mean, that's the last game I want to talk about. So but I do want to talk about something else. Okay.
Okay.
This is gonna stray a little bit away from what we normally do.
okay.
But it is basketball related. I want to know. All right. This was clearly an ISO. It was not a drawn up play. But the other day, Kendrick Perkins was on live, and he shot his shot with I don't even know her name. Whoever he was talking to on live TV, and he said on live TV, he said, "What you need ibuprofen for when you can have a perk." Now, clearly this coach did not draw up an ISO. Clearly coach called a play and he just decided to ISO on his own.
This is like that time, you know,
The shot.
listen. It's that story. No, I mean but it's that Damian Lillard shot he hit against the Rockets.
Yeah.
Where it was drawn up for Aldridge and he just went and got the ball.
And then he said ball game like Paul George and just bricked it. Listen, it missed, right?
Yeah.
But was it bad shot selection? Is there a way that he practices that shot more so that it can go in? Do you think he's the type of shooter? Because sometimes, like when you're Amen Thompson, when you're Zion, when you're even like Giannis, like we wonder how good they can be if they get a 3-pointer going.
Yeah. No. That's a good point. So you asked 3 parts, right? Is that a good shot? Now, what were the 3 parts? So you asked, is that a good shot?
Is that a good shot?
What can he do to work on that shot? And is he a shooter? That's not a good shot. If you have ever taken an ISO, and now imagine doing it in front of 3 people, right? Obviously affects the chances, right? You're bringing other defenders into the equation. You're basically having them run a zone. It's going to be harder for you to go get a bucket because the defense is going to collapse if you make a wrong move. But you talking about where Perk did it? Now maybe there wasn't a zone, but there was stadium pulse, and she had to be affected by that. You know, you have to imagine she was feeling the energy of the crowd and might not have responded the way she would have otherwise. Who knows? It's a bad shot in the situation. I do believe I believe you have to look for a better circumstance to take that shot.
It just wasn't in the flow of the offense.
It wasn't in the flow at all.
I feel like if you take that kind of shot in the flow, but like it's literally as if like mid play there was a play being ran and then he just snatched the ball and then just started isoing. Because the setup to it was, I swear, like not even related. He was just like, oh, hold up.
And unless he knows her like outside of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean
it's
that women.
fine.
I mean it's like fine, but it's also like 50-50 on that edge of like maybe she feels uncomfortable with that. Maybe that doesn't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know that it's a good shot in that situation. Now, what can you do to work on that shot? Bring it down a scale. Okay. You don't need to be taking the game winner. Go take some layups, run some mic and drills, get in the gym.
Because there was a little bit of a stutter in there.
Yeah. Get some shots up. You know what I mean? Get your flow going, get a couple, see the ball go through the hoop. Yeah, and that's how all shooters get their confidence. Steph Curry, ball's not going in from 3. He's going to get to the basket. He's going to make some layups, right? LeBron. You think LeBron is relying on his jumper if it's not going that night? No, he's going to his go-to move. That's the thing. You got to have a go-to move. That felt like Perk made that up on the spot. He was improvising, right? He was saying, it's that video of him dribbling, right? He was doing that in his head. He's like, Perk, that's not your game. Get in the post, back to the basket, drop step, maybe a hook shot, get to your game, okay?
Because what was he trying to say? So you don't need something to help you sleep if I'm there. Oh, I kind of like, but it
doesn't flow. It doesn't flow. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
You have
it doesn't
to think about it too much.
Yeah, it's like there's too much to it. You got to think about it too much. It's also like he's trying to be like on the edge and like flirtatious, but it's also like an oddly sweet thing to say. Like,
I feel like that's one of those shots.
What you need something to help you go to sleep for when I could help you go to sleep. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean, Perk?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more of a direct way to say it. I also do think that's one of those shots that, like, like when you shoot a 3 and you just know it's missing and you got to just start running for it right after to get the rebound. Like, Like that's one of those you gotta be Zion.
But you can't. There is no rebound in that situation. This is 1-on-1. That's the problem. This is 1-on-1. You make it, you miss it, no rebounds. Okay, ball, it's a turnover back to the other team, right? This is a 1-on-1. There is no like rebounding. You got no teammates to grab the ball for you. That's the problem. There's no following your shot. There's no following your shot. You got to make sure you put up a shot. You like that shot. Okay. Now, I say all this, right? You asked me the question: Is Perk a shooter? He's definitely a shooter. Now, I don't know if he's a shot maker, but he's a shot taker. Dion Waiters' mentality. We ran for instead earlier. I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9. Because if I go 0 for 30, that means I stop shooting. I don't think Perk stopped shooting. I think that dude has confidence. Is it misplaced? I don't know.
Even if you went over 9.
Hey, man, that dude's a 6'10" NBA player. I don't know if that confidence is misplaced. Who knows? But
but
you got to get to
the
a better
confidence
shot.
And you need the practice.
Yeah.
You need the confidence.
Listen, you got to get to a better shot. You think, look, I'll go back to LeBron James, one of the best to ever do it. LeBron, when he was 20, man, he might just jump from the free throw line and dunk that shit. But he can't do that anymore. So if he tries to do that, that's not going to be the play. You can't do, but he's still effective. Why? Because he changed his game. He altered it a little bit. He plays off of what he can do now. He's a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, more intentional, knows the game better. You got to shift your game a little bit. You can't play the same game you played when you were 20, right? You got to change it up a little bit. So Perk, if you're listening to this, because of course you are, change it up a little bit. I believe in you. I believe you're a shooter, but you got to get to your shot. You got to figure out what your shot is.
Yeah. So I'll disagree a little bit. I think you got to Zion that thing of putting it up with the intention of it missing and then getting the rebound, because the fact that so I watched the video, but I'm looking at how the article described it, and it says, with a straight face, he said that he then smirked and leaned back in his chair. I don't think
he was too satisfied with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like you got to know that there's a chance of it missing, and you got to save it there has to be some sort of follow up or something.
Yeah.
But like, not even like a little bit of it, letting it sink in a little bit. But then once it sinks in for like 1 or 2 seconds, then you follow it up.
Here's the problem. He's just holding his follow through. That's what they tell you to do. Like, if you believe the shot is going in, you hold your follow through. Like, maybe you run after it if you think it's not, but if you don't believe the shot's going in, then the defense isn't going to respect you as a shooter as much. Whereas if you hold that follow through, even if you miss, sometimes the defense looks like maybe he's a shooter. He took that. That was confident, right?
So maybe next time it goes in, but
yeah.
I don't know how many more opportunities he's gonna get. We'll see.
Hopefully not in that situation, because I don't need to see Perk on my TV talking about some, whatever that means. I don't even know. I don't even want to think about what it means. I'd rather watch
this than Stephen A. I'll be honest. Stephen A. talking about sports or Perk just shooting a shot. I'll take Perk every day.
Dude, get Perk on a dating show, man. Get Perk on like
Love Island.
What was that one show? Like Love Married First 90 Days, 90 Days Married. I can't remember.
90 Day Fiance.
90 Day Fiance. Get Perk on that, bro. Get Perk on Love Island.
That'd be amazing.
But yeah,
that was a little bit of a. You have any more to say?
No, I don't have man.
That was a little bit of a turn, but I wanted to have a pretty good conversation about that. But overall, opening night was a lot of fun. Yeah. Let's hope the rest of the season's that way.
Yeah.
More game of the years. We are going to be once or twice a week. I mean, we live together now. We can kind of record anytime, but probably once or twice a week.
Maybe if there's a great game and we watch it together, we might just sit down and talk about it. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. If you guys enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.